Oh, yeah. I'm still not 100% sure where the song ends. Welcome to Sam Roberts Now. Hope everybody is doing great out there tonight. It's another lonely Friday night, so why not spend it with the loneliest show on all of the internet, back from Hollywood, California, where we were sitting there. I'll tell you what we were doing in Hollywood. Everybody thinks we were there for WrestleMania. No, we were shopping Sam Roberts Now. We were shopping. We went to all the big networks. And we said, big networks, I got the loneliest show on all of the internet, ready for you to scoop up. And they said, we're not interested. And I said, all right, well, I'll go to the next meeting then. And it just went on and on like that for a while until we arrived back here in the Not Sam studio, which we are. Hot Dog, I left out there. I don't know what happened to him. We got separated at the airport like Home Alone 2. We were both running for the plane. I said, I'm not going to leave you at home this year, Hot Dog. It will never happen. And I'm assuming we got separated. He got lost at the gate somewhere. Ran right into the lady that was taking tickets. He goes, my ticket stub is in there somewhere. She goes, don't you just have it on your phone? He goes, my phone's out of battery. Of course, I'm Hot Dog. She goes, all right, we'll get on the plane. And honestly, I don't know where the plane landed, and I don't know where that kid ends up. Hopefully we see him back here next week, but as of now, he's gone. And I'd say 50-50. He's disappeared off the face of the earth. But also 50-50, maybe next week we see him. We'll see. Praise up. Pray for Hot Dog. Shay Marte on Twitter. Hashtag pray for Hot Dog. Everybody, prayers up. And we pray. Somebody is claiming, they're saying don't boo me. Somebody's claiming to be Hot Dog in the chat. I don't believe it. We all know Hot Dog changed his social media handles, and it's still the old Tormenta in the YouTube. I don't believe that's the real Hot Dog. Hashtag pray for Hot Dog. He's disappeared, and hopefully he'll be back soon. Now, before we spend all night with our prayer hands up, I do want to tell you that I've got to bring pleasantries to your weekend. That's the whole point. Not to leave you worrying, but to give you something to do, because I sit here, right? This is the loneliest show on the internet. And once it's over, now you're just lonely by yourself. We can't celebrate our loneliness together. So this is what I got for you, okay? I knew this was something that I had to check out because today, this is a new show. It's called Beef, and it's on Netflix. Hey, where's the beef? It's on Netflix, starring Ali Wong, Steven Yeun from The Walking Dead. David Cho is in it. And I saw this up there. I said, yeah, check this out. I like all parties involved. So I'll check that out. And then, but I said I'll do it in due time is what I said. And then I got reco'd it. That's what I say, reco'd. I got a reco from my dad and my t-shirt printer. And when you get your dad and your t-shirt printer hitting you up, it's like, okay, let me see what this is all about. So I've only gotten a couple eps in. This isn't a full series thing, so I couldn't spoil it if I wanted to. But it's basically, it's kind of, A24 has done it. So, you know, it's very well done. And it's dark at times, but also kind of hilarious. I mean, it basically starts with Glenn from The Walking Dead there, Steve Yeun. He's trying to return something at a Walmart-type store, but clearly he's done it before. This is a scam. They won't let him return what he's doing. They know it's a scam. So he gets out. He's frustrated. He gets into a very sort of not a big deal road rage thing with another car in the parking lot, and they end up on this insane chase. The car almost runs him over. Road rage. Road rage is brought to its ugly head, and it sets off a chain of events. But as you're getting to know Steven Yeun's character, and as you're getting to know Ali Wong's character, and as you're meeting the David Cho character and all this stuff, you see everybody's doing fine. This is what I like about the show. All the characters are doing fine. They could be doing better. They've got their frustrations in life, but none of them, it's not like the weight of the world is on their shoulders and they've got to somehow dig themselves out of some bottomless pit. No, they're dealing with everything that we all deal with. Spouses, in-laws, parents, trying to, being miserable at their jobs, trying to find or trying to find a job that they're happy with, whatever it is, right? All the pressures that we all, just regular pressures, but you watch as these people rage spiral, just start to spiral out of control. And when you chase it down to the root of what they're spiraling for, why they're so rageful, why they're so angry, you realize there's nothing to be this mad about. But to them, it's the whole world, right? It's everything. Now they've forgotten who they were before they were this mad, and they're ready to do some shit that they'll never be able to take back. And I feel like that is what the human condition in the current age that we're living in has kind of wound itself down to. I think that technology has, and I know maybe I'm getting too deep in this, but I have a degree in sociology, for God's sakes. I think that technology has brought us to this point where we can be doing things all the time or receiving information all the time. There is this sort of responsibility to be doing or knowledgeable, doing things all the time, or be knowledgeable of all things all the time. You got to have an opinion on everything. You can't let a moment go by. Wow, you didn't try that. Well, you should be doing this. Well, you should be doing that. Why don't you? At one point, the husband goes to Ali Wong and he goes, "Hey, why don't you look at it from the positive? Why don't you just be more positive?" And it's like, if you've ever been in an argument with anybody, or even not even in an argument, if you've ever been in a mood about anything, just been like, this sucks, and somebody has come up to you and said, why don't you try to just be more positive? It's the worst thing you could ever tell somebody, and it's the worst thing that you could ever hear. There is nothing that will drive a human being crazy more quickly than somebody kind of dismissively saying, why don't you just try to be more positive? And they go, okay, and they read something on the internet that gets them upset, or they get a text or an email from somebody that they don't want to hear from, or their phone's going off, or whatever it is. Hey, you can do this and do that and do this. We have the technology for it. Yeah, but my brain can't handle it. And then you end up in a parking lot with the guy from The Walking Dead, and now we're in a car chase, and now he's finding you, you're copying down people's license plates. I just love a story about that rage spiral that we all go down, and more often than not, there's absolutely no reason for it. See, Monkey U is in the chat. He says, wait, so Sam likes beef. I thought he only ate chicken fingers. See? If I'm in the wrong space, like if I'm in the right space, it's a lonely Friday, I'm with my people, I'm going, chicken, beef. I understand what you're saying. But if I'm in the wrong space, if I just got in a fight with somebody, if I got a text from somebody I didn't like, if somebody's emailing me saying, you got to do this a little differently, then I'm going to read that, and I'm going to go, who do you think you are? You don't know what I like. And it just goes and goes and goes. We don't have any time anymore to just stop, to just not do it, to just stop. Because if you did, you'd probably be like, oh, that thing is not a big deal. I'm sure we've all been in like scrolling through our phone and going through stuff that's gotten us all in a tizzy. And then all you have to do is literally walk outside and walk down the street and realize like, oh, that's not real life. That's not a real thing. Like, that's why road rage is so dangerous. Because when you're in your car, you're encapsulated inside that vehicle. You're in a bubble. It's made of steel or plexiglass and regular glass. You're in your car. And so there's nowhere for that rage to go. You see another driver that pisses you off, everything else in life that's pissing you off starts to seep in. And there's nothing to center you back into reality. Now, this is all that matters. And you end up going nuts. And that's, to me, kind of the sentiment of what the show is about. Again, I'm 2 episodes in. But I love that that's a story that's being told. Because I feel like there's too much justification given for rage these days. There's too much, like, we still want to believe that this anger that we have is based in, it's because we're righteous. Everybody who's angry wants to be righteous. Everybody who's angry wants to be like, well, the reason that I'm angry is because, you know, I'm fighting on the side of good, not just, no, it's because you're a human being, dude. It's because you're a human and you've gotten carried away by something that just doesn't matter. See, they're talking about Raising Cane's. John Fritch in the chat, he says Raising Cane's. I don't even know what they're talking about in the chat right now, but he says Raising Cane's. I can get upset that I don't have access to a Raising Cane's. I get real frustrated when I think about it. But I can't let it ruin my day. I can't. And I don't understand. That's what this is about. I don't know where it goes, but so far it's real good. And I love, it's on Netflix now. It's 10 episodes. They all went up at the same time, which I love. Too many of these streaming services now are dropping episodes as if they're television once a week. That was the whole thing. We evolved past. See, I'm getting frustrated again. I'm starting to get into one of those spirals. If I go into a Walmart parking lot, I'm liable to follow somebody home if they piss me off because I'll be thinking about the way they release shows. A lot of streaming services now, Hulu is doing this. They want to believe that they're an old school legacy network where they're putting out episodes once a week just to make sure they don't lose subscribers. They want to keep eyeballs on. But it's like, I mean, there are plenty of shows. Now it's a category. Is this a show that I'm willing to watch once a week? Succession, I will. It's annoying. I mean, at the end of a Succession, when it's like you finish it and you go, that's it? We don't have another episode? It's so bad. I'm rewatching the first season of Yellow Jackets. That way, by the time I'm done with the rewatch of the first season, I'll have like 4 or 5 season 2 eps ready to go so that I won't have to just be on that schedule. You feel like I've evolved past this. I don't need to be on your schedule anymore. So they've dropped all 10 episodes at once. And also it gives me I feel like now when streamers put out episodes 1 ep at a time, depending on the show, if it's not an incredible show that is just going to get you hooked. Like if you're putting out episodes 1 at a time, then I need to know that the day after the episode comes out, it's still going to be one of those shows that people are talking about. We got to talk about this episode. Like when Disney does that with The Mandalorian, it's actually okay because people talk about The Mandalorian. They recap episode by episode by episode. So clearly it's working. If it's a show that's on that level, sure. But most shows, you quit on them. I'm not doing it. So I'm happy that Beef doesn't have me a beef with Netflix and is going on 1 ep at a time. I mean, and it's not going on 1 ep at a time. They dropped 10 episodes. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it over the weekend. Maybe I'll take a break, do some Yellow Jackets, and then go, oh, I forgot. I got that whole season of Beef I can watch whenever I want. Where's the beef? Wherever I want it to be. It's thrilling. It's absolutely thrilling. Now, and I'm happy to see Stephen Yeun do lots of good work, right? He was great on Walking Dead. The show fell off entirely, but he was never bad. So to see him on another thing that's starting to get people talking and everything, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Everybody, they're doing too much. That's why they're so mad. They're doing too much. Their expectations on themselves are way too high. Lower the expectations. Tranquilo. Tranquilo. One thing at a time. Just do your thing good and keep it moving. So, speaking of that, I mean, and we've all been in these scenarios. I saw one of these scenarios happen, I think within the last week or so, right? You see, this was in Amherst, Ohio. School bus driver. Jeffrey Townsend said, I'm sad The Walking Dead is over. That series just wasn't long enough. Yeah, at least we have 17 spinoffs coming, you know. Woo! In Amherst, Ohio, this is exactly the scenario that I'm talking about. This is exactly why I'm glad a show like Beef exists, because we're just everybody's on the cusp, right? Everybody's about to hit that breaking point all the time. And it's kind of incredible that we've just allowed ourselves to be like, yeah, that's what the human condition is. It's a good time to be a therapist, right? I mean, I'm sitting here watching ChatGPT, right? There was a time where I was like, okay, I know how to raise my kids. I'm going to teach them to be coders. I'm looking at all these Zuckerbergs, and they're making all this money because I go, okay, that's the future. They got to learn how to make apps. They got to learn how to code. And then ChatGPT comes out, and you're just like, hey, can you code me an app that'll find the nearest Raising Cane's? And it takes it 30 seconds, and it spits out a bunch of text, and they go, here's all the code that you need. So that's obsolete. I'm telling you, man, I'm going to try to get my kids to go to school to become therapists. This is what we're going to need. Veterinarians and therapists, because everybody's going to be nuts because there's no other option anymore. It's too much. Human beings are not equipped to handle what we've got in front of us. We're going to need therapists. And what else are we going to need? Support animals. That's where the vets come in. You don't want your support animal to get sick, right? Regular health isn't going to matter anymore. We're going to figure out how to automate physical health. Regular doctors, we're kind of going to cure anything. All the machine that Theranos made up, they're actually going to figure out how to do it for real. ChatGPT is probably going to do it. AI is going to take over the science part. Everybody's going to go nuts. Everybody's going to need support animals. So we're going to need therapists and veterinarians. And that's pretty much it. You want my advice? Send your school for that. So, and this is an example of it. And I guess in this field, it's probably been happening a lot. I feel like the only thing that's stressful on the level of being a bus driver is being a postal worker, right? The old hack jokes about, don't go postal. Well, don't go bus driver, I say. This was in Amherst, Ohio. And one of these little rascals, these little brats on the back of the bus decided to turn their phone on and TikTok this moment. This is why you can't have TikToks in school. Because when the adults lose their minds on these little bastards, somebody's going to record it, and it's out there forever. And that's what happened to this lady driving the bus. She stopped the bus. I guess, I don't know, somebody sprayed perfume. And here's how it went down. God damn it. That's, I promise you, because I get criticized for this, I pause a lot. I get it, but I mean, that's kind of what we do, right? We talk about things. When you're in front of a group of students, I don't know, they're probably high school students, but I don't know, it doesn't matter how old they are. When you just go, that's the beginning of a mental breakdown. When you didn't think you were going to have a mental breakdown, you've handled yourself well, you're not prone to mental breakdowns. If you're prone to mental breakdowns, the beginning of a breakdown is probably much worse. But when this is like your first mental breakdown and you've finally been pushed past the breaking point, God damn it, is probably how it's going to start 90% of the time. God damn it. And it's like, and once you've said that, you could roll it back, but you're pretty much past the point of no return because the kids heard you say it. And now it's like, well, I'm here now. Let's go. God damn it.
Damn it. How much more do you expect me to fucking take? Give me the perfume.
No, I didn't do anything.
I can
know
freaking smell it.
I didn't do anything. I didn't spray anything.
Sick of you. I'm sick of all of this shit.
It's a perfume fight. That's how it always starts. It's always something innocuous. It's always something just like, they have probably been messing with this bus driver for years. And the students before, when you're a freshman, you go and you start messing with the bus driver. And it's happened class after class after class. And this bus driver probably said, stop spraying the perfume. And you know what the kids probably did? They probably sprayed the bus driver with the perfume. Because that's what a kid does. When the bus driver says, don't spray the perfume, they go, okay, we'll stop with the perfume. And then not only do you spray it again, but you spray it at the driver. And now, I'm done with this shit.
I'm done with it. I'm gonna start kicking some fucking serious ass. Do you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. My foot's gonna be so far up your goddamn ass, it's gonna dangle out your goddamn nose. I'm done with you. That phone in your bag. Now you give it to me.
All right, fine.
Done. God dang it, I can fucking smell it. I'm allergic to this shit.
Open her I didn't spray anything. They just like to start in the big. It's right in the big backpack. It's in the big.
What's funny too is that like that's always how it happens. They probably didn't spray it. They were probably right every other time, but this time they didn't spray it, right? And so they're like, "We didn't spray it." She's like, "Look, I'm over here." She's lost so much control that she said, "God dang it." She didn't say damn, and then she said fucking right after that, I think.
You like to start shit. I'm allergic to this shit.
Oh, that's what she said. God dang it, I'm allergic to this shit. Here it is, sorry.
It's right in the big. It's right in the big backpack. It's in the big.
You like to start shit too, Maya. You're no innocent angel here.
Oh boy.
I'm done.
She called out Maya.
Shit. Done. I've had my fill. I'm done with it. I'm ready to walk off this goddamn bus right now.
Oh boy.
People walk the fuck home.
Did you ever have one of those moments as a kid where you realize you just pushed the adult too far? This is push the adult too far. This is not, because she's out of control. The adult is no longer in control. They're like she said, she said, I'm going to assault you. I'm going to put my foot up your ass.
How much more do you think anybody can freaking take?
Oh boy.
Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear another goddamn word out of your mouth.
Look, lady, empathy. Children can't handle empathy. I mean, most people don't really, some people never learn empathy. And the best of us, the very best of humanity, probably figure out empathy in their 30s. It takes at least 30 years to really wrap your head around empathy in any kind of real way. The kids who understood empathy as teenagers, they were outcasts because nobody could relate to them. Because they go like this, well, don't you think this is going to make them feel bad? And you'd go, I don't even understand what you're saying. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Empathy. What empathy? I know empty. I know pathetic. Empathy. I don't know what you're talking about. And it's tough because this lady's been doing this for a long time. And when you're an adult, especially a caretaker, you got children around you all the time, you have to have empathy. You have to. But these children have no idea, don't know what you're talking about. Their brain, for whatever reason, the human brain, I'd love for them to figure that out. As soon as they figure out CTE, next I want them to figure out why a child's brain just can't handle empathy at all. They don't understand it. King Buzzo says, my middle school math teacher used to lose her mind like that once a week. That's a tough life, dude. That is a tough life. When you're losing your mind every week on these kids, do you know the misery? I mean, because you get into teaching probably with the best of intentions. You think, because that's one of those fields where you could theoretically make a difference. But when these kids are driving you to the brink like this, oh my God. Okay. Oh, and you can hear the chuckling. You know now. This is that silent period where you're like, you finally take a breath and you're like, well, we're here now. There ain't no going back from where we are today. And you can hear the chuckling and you're like, they still don't have, God damn, they still don't have empathy.
Excuse me.
Oh boy.
What did
Oh,
I just
I knew it.
tell you?
I knew it. I knew it.
You think it's funny?
Oh boy.
You think it's funny? You're all, no, you didn't. You're so full of shit, Jackson. You're as bad as he is. Done.
She called that kid full of shit. They probably are middle school
Not
kids.
another goddamn word out of any of you.
Well, that kid whispered, okay. That's funny. That's a funny kid. I like that.
Somebody needs to come up on this bus and seriously kick some fucking ass.
She wants somebody to roll up on that bus.
I got the whole.
Oh my God. Send that to me. That's, Oh, this bus driver. She's pushed past the breaking point. She finally has it out. She gets it all off her chest. She talks to all of these kids about the one desire that she has is for somebody to show up on this bus and physically assault all these children. And all the kids learn from it is, send that video to me. Oh, this woman, wow. She resigned. This video became public. It became a news story. Now look. Anybody that doesn't understand, Nathan Gerald says, I love the bus noises at the end. Because that's when you know. Like, you know after making that speech that you have altered your life forever. Nothing will ever be the same. But the sound of the bus going, that's letting you know, like, I mean, we're continuing on. I got to go stop by stop. Every one of those kids that I just said I want to break my boot off in their ass, every one of them is going to walk by me and say, have a good day. Thank you. Have a good day. She just said she wanted to put her boot up their ass so far that their foot would dangle out of their nose. I mean, if my kids came home and said, the bus driver threatened to break her boot off in our ass today, and I knew that the bus driver was like a 60-something-year-old woman, I'd probably go, you guys must have really driven that lady crazy. As a parent, you have to know what's going on. There's no way that your kids and their peers were just sitting there trying to quietly ride a bus home and this psychotic woman decided to start threatening physical assault. We know what happened. So the TikTok goes everywhere. Obviously, it's one of the great videos of all time. I mean, it's the most entertaining thing I've ever seen. It makes the local news and everything. And I guess the lady resigns. An email went out from the school. Dear Amherst parents, this evening I received a video circulating on social media of a bus driver using inappropriate and offensive language towards students. That's another thing. Like, I don't care what language she's using. The more offensive thing is probably that she wants either herself or somebody else to kick those kids' asses. And then they're going, did she say ass? I guess. The behavior exhibited by the bus driver is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. What about the perfume? What about the perfume? I have accepted the bus driver's resignation effective immediately, and the incident will be fully investigated. The actions of the bus driver do not represent the values and standards we uphold as a district. Moving forward, our transportation department will review its procedures to make sure we're handling situations appropriately for the safety of our students. Come on, dude. You know what happened. As superintendent, I'll continue to focus my energy and efforts on creating a positive and safe environment for all students and staff. Yeah, I'm sure. So, people know what's going on here. This lady resigns, and immediately people start coming to her support. $60,000 is the amount of money that she's already made in donations. 60 grand right in her bank account so she can retire, right? Because theoretically, she couldn't have had that many years left as a bus driver. And now I'm sure if she had any sort of pension, I don't know how any of that works, but she probably doesn't get it. So now she's made like 60 grand in donations, and a t-shirt has come out. I think she's making $5 for every t-shirt sold. It's a picture of a school bus, and it says, my foot's going to be so far up your ass that it's going to dangle from your nose. I mean, this is one of those t-shirts that in the moment you order because it's funny, and by the time it arrives at your house, people have already forgotten what the meme means. But, you know, God bless. What that means, the fact that she's already made $60,000, though, is clearly a lot of adults going, I know exactly what happened there. I bet some of the donations came from parents of the kids who were like, yeah, no, I understand. They talked to the lady on the news. This is her. That sweet old lady. She just wanted to break her boot off in some kids' asses. That's all.
That particular day was challenging,
yeah,
to say the very least, because it started the minute this core group of students had gotten on the bus.
She says a group of kids on her bus
Let her say it.
constantly act
Here's what she's going to say. She's right there.
out, purposefully instigating her for the last couple of years. And she finally had enough.
I'm sorry the way this went down. I truly am. I do apologize for my actions on that day. But
Ooh.
I won't take it back.
She's not going to take it back. Those kids are brats, spraying their perfume around.
Tells me she suffers from asthma and strong fragrances trigger her attacks.
Trigger
One
warning.
student yelled that another had sprayed perfume, which led to what you see.
I didn't spray anything.
I'm allergic to this.
This after she tells me she just had an attack last month.
And she sprayed perfume on the bus, and I had a horrible asthma attack. I had to stop the bus.
I believe,
Grab a-
by the way, I believe 1,000%. With every fiber of my being, I believe that those kids were like, yo, the bus driver has an asthma attack when we spray perfume, and that they did it on purpose. They will never admit it, and they shouldn't, but every fiber of my being would believe that those kids did that on purpose. Empathy hasn't developed yet. I understand it too. I don't think they're evil kids. I think they're typical kids. Empathy hasn't developed. They're saying in the chat too, 60 grand and you're set for retirement in 1920. Look, I mean, it's better than 0 grand. You got 60 grand. You got to figure it out. Maybe put it in crypto. I don't know. But hopefully you'll get a little more scratch than that. I don't know. I think, and I wonder if any of the kids are going to crack because they said they're going to investigate it, which would mean you really have to investigate it, right? You spray that perfume knowing I didn't spray anything. No, I didn't spray. The fact that that's how you know that they did it on purpose, because if they were just spraying perfume because they wanted some perfume on, they would have said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Oh, I forgot. But they said, no, we didn't spray anything. Yes, they did. They totally did.
My inhaler and just try and get my lungs to open up again. When I had all the kids open up all the windows, but they know this.
They know this.
Amid
See?
a nationwide
See?
bus driver shortage, Jackie says this is partially why.
This is a plight of all bus drivers. We are.
Why won't you think about the plight of the bus drivers every now and then? This is where it gets a little self-righteous, okay? The plight of the bus driver. Like, okay, let's all calm down, okay? We all know kids are brats, but let's take it down a notch and, you know, not everything has to be a movement. What people aren't considering is the plight of the bus driver in modern America. It's okay. All right. It's the same plight of teachers. It's the same plight of, everyone. It's the same plight as that show Beef. We've all got our stuff to deal with.
Treated in the worst possible sense of the word.
My foot's gonna be so far up your dangle at your nose.
That saying now on a t-shirt sold by Mistakes on the Lake Apparel Company in Vermilion.
Nice.
We all kind of just felt for her in that moment. Like, we've all had bad days. We've
I wonder
all
if she's a
gone
parent.
through hardships, and
You think so?
we just kind of, I think our hearts just kind of bled for her.
Shop owner Jackie Adkins donating $5 of each t-shirt sale to the bus driver, since she's now with
$5 of each t-shirt sale. That's a one-color print. Probably a $15 shirt. I mean, she could have just, given her all the profit. But whatever. You got to keep your small business open too.
without a job after resigning, as support from a GoFundMe page started for her continues to soar.
There's just no words to say how grateful that I am, for the people that have supported me.
She really, that lady was pushed, man. That lady is not built to be the one that goes off. By the way, I'm reading some of these super chats and I'm already dying laughing. So if you want to contribute to tonight's show, as always, the rules of Sam Roberts Now are every super chat will get acknowledged. So if there are things you want me to acknowledge, super chat it in and we will get to every super chat tonight. But there's so much more to deal with before we get to the super chats. Everybody went wild. Talk about this poor bus driver lady becoming a social media star. I saw this everywhere I looked. These Barbie memes. Barbie memes were everywhere. Dua Lipa, this Barbie is a mermaid. The marketing campaign behind this Barbie movie is tremendous. If I'm Greta Gerwig, I am sending emails thanking whatever studio is making this movie, the marketing team, because they are building a buzz around this Barbie movie. Now, the Barbie movie has been one that's been in the making for quite some time. At one point, Amy Schumer was attached to it. I think Anne Hathaway was attached to it. Greta Gerwig comes on board as the director. She's either nominated or a winner of an Academy Award. Then we get Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie's going to be Barbie. This is going to be fantastic. And we don't know much about it, right? Several weeks ago, though, we saw this teaser. And the teaser is playing on the fact that Barbie is the first real fashion doll. Before Barbie, you would just give girls baby dolls. This is what they say about Barbie. That Barbie is very important because Barbie, as much as it's an unrealistic role model, you know, as much as Barbie pushes unrealistic expectations on some young girls at the same time, Barbie is really the first, they say, aspirational doll for girls. That before Barbie, it was really all just baby dolls, right? We were training these girls to just be caretakers from the time they were still toddlers. Just learn how to be a caretaker, learn how to be a caretaker. Barbie comes along, and it's like, hey, you can be beautiful, you can be glamorous. All of a sudden, there comes medical Barbie. You can be a doctor, you can do this. It's great, it's fantastic. I don't know what this Barbie movie is all about, but the teaser comes out. We see lots of pink, lots of neon, lots of camp, and it all looks incredible. Everybody gets very, very excited. Then this week, the longer form trailer drops. I guess they're calling it teaser number 2, but it's like 1 minute and 40 seconds. We're actually seeing scenes from the movie, and we're seeing this cast, and this cast is tremendous. Like I said, this Dua Lipa's in it. Will Ferrell is in it as some kind of executive type. Who else do we got? I don't know who that person is, but she's in it. Okay, these are memes. These people are not actually in it. This Barbie is the way. Of course, that's the Mandalorian. This Ken is pretty good. This Barbie is going to play a game. Everybody was memeing themselves around the Barbie thing, but this is what it's all about. Margot Robbie is Barbie. Ryan Gosling is Ken, and this is also Ken. So everybody there is Ken. Everybody there is Barbie. They're living in this doll world. You can see it's all designed to look like the Barbie dream house and everything. And this is one of those, movie. I don't know. It looks like to me there's musical numbers in this thing. And I'm a sucker for a musical number. I hope it's true. I hope that they have. They should. It's campy, right? Look at them go. I mean, they're just dancing to like popular music, but you see, everybody's a Ken. It's it feels like it's sarcastic. I don't know what the plot is at all, but this is probably the best gag that I saw. Right, that in the beginning. That's something for WikiFeet. Margot Robbie Barbie takes off her shoes, and she's still got her feet in the shoe position, right? That's the way Barbie was. Her feet, or they would fit high heel shoes. I don't know. The movie's not for me. I don't care one way or the other. Issa Rae's in it. That's exciting, right? Kate McKinnon is in it. Kate McKinnon is like a Barbie that's been drawn on or something. Helen Mirren's in it. Dame Helen Mirren. All these people. And, what do I care? I don't know. Am I going to see the Barbie movie? No, I don't have any attachment to the Barbie thing, but a lot of people do. And a lot of people are getting pretty excited about it. There was a moment, what I want to know is, how accurate is it? There's a moment at the end of the trailer where Ken asks to stay over with Barbie. Stay overnight. And she goes, why? He goes, well, because we're boyfriend-girlfriend now, so I'd like to stay over your place. She goes, and do what? And he goes, I'm actually not sure. So there is reason to believe that these Barbies and Kens may not have genitals. If you recall the dolls, I don't know if you grew up, if you're a lady watching, or you grew up with a sister, maybe you're a dude who grew up with Barbie, I don't know. But if you recall growing up, the Barbies didn't have genitals. So I think based on that joke, there is a theory going around that maybe these Barbies don't have genitals. Now, there is a part in the trailer, if we can break this down, and I'm glad that we're doing a scene-by-scene breakdown of the Barbie trailer to really try to get to the bottom of this. Not only may they not have genitals, but it says, real world, true story, real world is this way. And so maybe, you know, there's the Barbie world, right? Because we don't see the real world in the trailer. We just see this kind of weird, campy, plastic-looking Barbie world. I'm sure there's some kind of commentary on it. You know, something about the striving for perfection, or protection, striving for perfection and how it's not good. I like that old Ryan Gosling has painted on abs there, although he will probably get real abs. I mean, they got really attractive people to play this Ken and Barbie, but I guess Ken and Barbie were very attractive dolls. So it says that they go into the real world, right? They're in the car here. I like that Ken is wearing pink pajamas. But they go into the real world. So the question is, do the genitals, they grow genitals once they go in the real world? B. Herb wants to know, how do they pee or poop? Barbie, I mean, I don't know if Barbie's dream house ever had a toilet in it. Once they get to the real world, if they grow genitals in the real world, right, will they automatically be potty trained? Or as adults, will they have to learn how to be potty trained? Maybe that's Act 3. Maybe that's the end of Act 2 of the film. I don't know. But, you know, when you're a little kid, it's not just instinct, oh, let me go use the toilet. When you're a little kid, somebody's got to teach you how to do it. So maybe that's part of the movie. Maybe Barbie and Ken leave Barbie world and enter into the real world. Somebody's got to potty train them because all of a sudden they have genitals. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. There's a lot of mystery around this movie, but people are pumped, man. People are excited. It's going to be out July 21st, and I'll never be one who disrespects nostalgia. It's not my nostalgia, but I get excited over my own nostalgia. I know there are people excited this week that the Super Mario Brothers movie is out. Everybody wants to make sure that it's all accurate to the time, right? That it feels like these beloved characters came out of the game. Now, I think, Super Mario Brothers seems like it's more targeted towards children, but I'm sure anybody that grew up obsessed with Super Mario Brothers is going to want to watch Super Mario Brothers movie. They want to see if they did King Koopa justice. For me, I'm sitting here going, doesn't make any difference to me. I don't know how one would do King Koopa justice. But I watch a lot of pro wrestling, I got my own nostalgia that I love to celebrate. I'm not here to judge anything, right? That's probably why I like horror movies so much. Because you grow up with them, you don't want to, you grow up with these movie monsters. You don't want to let go. I love it. I love it. Look, see, they're all Ken. I think the whole cast, see, this kid's in that show Sex Ed on Netflix. Like half the cast of that show Sex Ed is in this movie. Looks exciting. The action figure world comes to life. I love that. I'm a toy guy, so I'm not going to get mad at that. But whatever, man. People are pumped. People are pumped. It's going to be an iconic movie. And it's going to be one of those movies that's iconic for people who it's iconic for, but then there's probably going to be a bunch of weirdos that are like shitting on it, even though the movie is like not for them. They have no connection to Barbie. They don't, like, if I was sitting here going, this movie looks stupid, it's like, what authority would I have to judge this movie? What do I care about? I've never been connected to this world whatsoever. This is for people connected to that world. There's some people that have been waiting for a Barbie movie for decades. I don't know. I don't understand it, but I guess I understand it, but I just don't feel the same way. Oh, speaking of not only, this is how we tie everything together tonight. Speaking of not only things that have kind of taken the internet by storm, but people snapping and just people being driven to the point past no return. These guys, I don't know who 856 Entertainment is, but they're troublemakers. Because these guys went out and they decided to ask a group of young ladies. I don't know. They look like maybe they're in Miami. You see the plant life and everything around them. Maybe Miami is a happening place. They went out and they asked women, would you rather have $250 in food stamps or dinner with Soulja Boy? Now, the $250 in food stamps is very interesting because it's like you can't spend it on shoes. You can't spend it on a designer bag. You can't buy yourself something nice. You can't spend it on rent. You can't spend it on anything. You can't spend it on gas, payment on a car, nothing. It has to be just in eating food, and only eating food in places that accept food stamps. You couldn't go to Morton Steakhouse because you can't pay in EBT, I don't think. I've never tried at Morton Steakhouse. But listen to what the young lady said when asked that question. $250 in food stamps or dinner with Soulja Boy?
$250 in food stamps.
Now, this is not, by the way, and there is some confusion, I'm sure. I would hope that my audience here, when they hear Soulja Boy, you mean Soulja Boy? I'm not talking about Soulja Boy from 90 Day Fiancé. I'm not talking about baby girl Lisa. How did that song go? It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll think of it in a second. It's driving me crazy. Soulja Boy's hit that was about baby girl Lisa, but he cast another woman in the video, and it kind of always rubbed her the wrong way. No, I'm talking about Soulja Boy telling, why don't you? Soulja Boy, not Soulja Boy.
$250 in food stamps or dinner with Soulja Boy?
Food stamps.
Food stamps? What the fuck?
250.
That's probably the most insulting one. Food stamps, what the fuck? Like, because what that means is, clearly I would choose food stamps. What an absurd question to even ask. Who would pick anything besides the food stamps? What the fuck?
50 food stamps.
250 in food stamps. I'm gonna pick the food stamps only because Soulja Boy's not nobody. I could have dinner by myself.
Now that's a young lady who I would just like her take on everything. I love the follow-up. Soulja Boy's not nobody. And she could just have dinner with herself. And that's probably what she's thinking. If Soulja Boy is already not nobody, meaning, well, that's a double negative. But I think what she's saying is Soulja Boy isn't anybody. So if he's not anybody already, then she could have a better meal by herself with the $250 in food stamps, which is like, that logic is clear as day to me. I go like, yeah, I mean, would you rather have dinner with nobody? Would you rather have dinner with nobody or $250 for food? I'm with her.
Food stamps.
The food stamps.
Food stamps. I don't give a fuck about that corny ass nigga.
Oh, God.
Food stamps. I don't give a fuck about no Soulja Boy. 250 in food stamps.
Why insult him?
Stamps. I can't make some chicken Alfredo.
I didn't do that Soulja Boy lean since I was 12.
Oh.
Give me the food stamps.
There's so many people that he asked. You'd rather have, I mean, she's clearly older than 12. Way older than 12. And she hasn't done the Soulja Boy lean since she was 12. This other lady wants to make chicken Alfredo.
I'm taking food stamps. Fuck that nigga. Who is that?
Oh, my God.
250 in food stamps.
250 in food stamps.
Food stamps. I could finesse 250K out of Soulja Boy. Fuck is you talking about? 250 in food stamps? Be for real.
Bitch, I'll
Oh, okay. See, that's a lady who understands finessing. She thinks she get $250,000 out. So that's one for Soulja Boy, if you're keeping track.
All right, 250 to food stamps. Food stamps.
250.
Soulja Boy, like, he's not even relevant no more. Like, let's next question.
That's really, I mean, that's mean. Well, that whole video, I mean, they're just killing the guy. They're just killing him. It's one thing to be like, it's a good question, but I think I'd prefer the 250 in food stamps. That's just my preference. But the lady, he's not relevant. That's not nice. Some people, who the fuck even is that? I mean, if you're just like, would you rather have dinner with a random gentleman or 250 in food stamps? Just to be like, I don't even know who that is. I'll take the 250 in food stamps. It's just mean. It's mean. It's not nice. Who even is that? I haven't done that. I haven't cared about him since I was 12. It's mean. And this is Soulja Boy in the modern day. And he's really, well, he's had quite enough of this type of talk of him on the internet. See, Soulja Boy is in this position where he achieved, I think, I'm being analytical about this, and maybe I'm the wrong person to talk about it, but my perception is that Soulja Boy considers himself an icon of an era, and I would say that I would argue that that's probably true. And he thinks that his contributions to mainstream popular music and, quite frankly, popular culture deserve a certain degree of respect. And the idea that, number one, these women would be so unkind to him, and number two, that this video would be published at all, he feels like it tarnishes his legacy. And so he's pushed beyond the breaking point. You can see here, and by the way, just remember, this isn't in Miami. This is actually in New Jersey, I think, because he starts insulting New Jersey in this video, which was on Soulja Boy's Instagram Live. But you can see here, this is stacks of money. This is cash. And this is jewelry that looks very, very expensive. So don't get the wrong idea. Soulja Boy is still doing very well financially. He's very well set. There's no way that I personally could not put on a display of wealth like this. I just don't have the capital for it. But the Soulja Boy, he doesn't even look concerned. If I had that kind of capital in front of me, I'd say this should be put towards investments. This is not responsible. But for Soulja Boy, he's got such a wealth. He's got so much that he's got such an excess that he feels very comfortable just keeping this in cash, which, I mean, God bless, man.
I want to have dinner with y'all pussy AIDS infested hoes anyway.
Whoa. He wouldn't have, well, he's calling them infested, but he wants them to know. It's a good thing you took the $250 because he wouldn't have dinner with you anyway, which I believe. I think Soulja Boy probably has his pick of the litter when it comes to dinner dates, quite frankly.
I would not have dinner with no broke-ass bitch in New Jersey anyway.
I believe that.
I would not have dinner with no crackhead-ass looking hoes anyway. Y'all bitches could not be in the same room with me. Y'all bitches gonna die in the hood. Y'all gonna die broke. Y'all ain't gonna never touch $1 million. Y'all ain't gonna never touch 30 million. Y'all ain't gonna never touch 100K in a day.
Wow.
You gonna die broke. You lived your whole life broke.
Wow.
You ain't shit. You ain't gonna never be shit.
Nigga. Wow.
Suck my dick, nigga.
Wow. Wow. And then he's displaying the cash. I can't tell what denominations those are, but I would imagine about $10,000, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's probably $60,000 right there. That's over a year of a very good college tuition for somebody. That's a lot of money. $60,000, you could go very far with that. Invested in the right things. This is the bus driver's retirement. That bus driver that those kids made fun of and sprayed perfume at, this is the amount of money that the GoFundMe raised for her. And for Soulja Boy, it's nothing. And that makes me believe that Soulja Boy would not be interested in having any meal, be it dinner or lunch, even a brunch or breakfast situation, with any, as he put it, crackhead hoes from New Jersey. I believe him. I believe him when he says it. I believe that the young ladies, too, would have preferred that. I believe both parties. I do believe that the young ladies' question would have preferred the $250 in food stamps. Most of them, I believe, would have said it to Soulja Boy's face. I do believe them. At the same time, I believe that Soulja Boy was not lusting over any of them anyway. So as far as he's concerned, they're the losers. It's a humiliating video. They shouldn't have done that to poor Soulja Boy. It's not right. It's not right the way they treat these icons of the past. You know, at some point, Soulja Boy will get his flowers. And he deserves them. Listen, okay, Not Sam Miguel is asking Mick Foley's smelly shirt or dinner with Soulja Boy. You can see Mick Foley's shirt has already been chosen. It's right there in the green and blue next to the Not Sam sign. It doesn't smell, by the way. It doesn't smell. That's a common misconception about that shirt. And no, I would not give up that shirt to have dinner with Soulja Boy. I would not. I value that shirt. I purchased that shirt directly from Mick Foley in a Facebook auction. So no, I would not give up my Mick Foley shirt just to have dinner with Soulja Boy. Unless I could finesse $250,000 out of him. If I felt confident like that one woman who thought she could finesse $250,000 out of Soulja Boy, then I would give up the shirt. Because I feel like for $250,000, I could buy all of Mick Foley's shirts. I think Mick Foley would probably sell me his entire wardrobe for $250,000. The guy likes cash. So if I felt confident that I could finesse that amount of money out of Soulja Boy, then yes. But if I'm being honest with you, and I try to be honest with you here on Sam Roberts Now, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I'm capable of it. I don't think I could finesse $250,000 out of Soulja Boy. Oh, no, you. All right, guys, listen. There's only one way to fully contribute and interact with Sam Roberts Now. You know the rules of Sam Roberts Now. Every super chat gets read. Every super chat gets, well, acknowledged, I should say. I'm not just going to say stupid thing. Every super chat gets acknowledged. So if you'd like to be acknowledged, if you're sitting there and you're watching the show right now going, Sam Roberts, acknowledge me. And you're watching live, then be acknowledged. If you're not watching live, it becomes very difficult to acknowledge you. But maybe you leave a great comment or a super chat thanks or a super comment or whatever, and I can acknowledge you next week. I could do that if you want. Let's get to these super chats. Six Crow, welcome back, Sam. Congrats on a very successful WrestleMania week. I appreciate that. Over on the Not Sam Wrestling YouTube channel, at some point, Not Sam-a-Mania, the live show from the Comedy Store, will be up. It was an incredible time. Everything turned out so great. So I'm really, really psyched about how it turned out. And for any of you that missed the show, the video will be great, but make sure you're there for the next live Not Sam Wrestling, wherever it may pop up. Maybe we should do a live Sam Roberts Now at some point. If I can generate enough interest, I'll do it. I'll do it. PHWOFL. Missed you last week, Sam. Missed you last week. Can you please talk to the WWE and have them reschedule their events in a way that doesn't conflict with Sam Roberts Now? I can. I did give you programming, though. I did give you the John Wick full franchise breakdown. I think there was only one mistake made in that where I thought that the female assassin and the bartender were the same person. People in the comments said it was not the same person. I still think it's the same person, but I didn't rewatch after that. But if you haven't seen that yet, that went up as a premiere last week on Friday, just to give you guys a little something. So check that out after tonight's show if you haven't seen it yet. Let's see. Monkey U. Speaking of, thank you for the contribution. Speaking of rage spiraling and a prank gone wrong ended up with prankster getting outshot, him and his dad are blaming the guy who did the shooting, being too offended and triggered to handle a joke. A prank gone wrong ended up with the prankster getting gut shot. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'm sorry. I appreciate the contribution. Those are all words. I don't understand what you're talking about. Nathan Gerald says, I bet season 2 of Beef starts with the grape fight. Sometimes that's all it takes. Grapes. When there's enough bubbling under the surface, we've all been there. When there's enough bubbling under the surface, the way you eat grapes can be enough to push somebody past the breaking point. I've never been that person, but I've seen it happen. I've absolutely seen it happen. B Herb 76, F Mary Kill, Craig Schenkel, Edgar Mellencamp, or Doug Bell. I'm sorry I had to do it. And on a night where I can't even throw it over to Hot Dog. My God. I'd probably marry Doug Bell because I think his stories are funny. I'd probably kill Edgar Mellencamp because he doesn't like my wife. So I kill Edgar Mellencamp, and I probably I'd be left to have an intimate affair, an intimate evening with Craig Schenkel. Appreciate that. Poodlerific, I've been listening to Wayback Machine, Hot Dog Muffins. There's a lot of good stuff. That old Sam Roberts Now nighttime show. What a wild time that was. Geemer 3x3 says, I'm praying for Hot Dog, but it's an unkind prayer. Also, it's pronounced Geemer, Baldy. Geemer 3x3. See, I thought it was Geemer, like gamer, but Geemer. Geemer. All right. Well, even you didn't have to insult me, but you did pay for the right, so I'll accept it. JKR. Oh, okay. See, this is what it's all about. I'm okay. Thoughts on the Ant versus Burr and Club Soda Kenny incident? Obviously, I wasn't there. I don't know anything about it. I guess Anthony and Bill Burr got into it verbally a little bit at the Comedy Cellar, and Club Soda Kenny escorted Anthony out of the building. I mean, look, dude, if somebody insults my wife, well, I don't care if I've been friends with them. You know what I mean? It's on sight, as they say. And yeah, I mean, and the one thing that we can all say about Club Soda Kenny that we have known from the jump is he is an absolute soldier. He's as professional as it gets. I've had my run-ins with him. I've had my pleasantries with him. I prefer my pleasantries. And I will tell you this. If he were hired to protect anybody, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's an enemy that we both had, and he were hired to protect him, and I got between, I crossed paths with that person in the wrong way, Club Soda Kenny would not show loyalty to me either. He would be a professional. It is what it is. Teddy Two, but I wasn't there, and I don't know both sides of the story, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. Teddy Two Guns. I love this. Did you talk about the Burr Ant beef? I just did, but I appreciate the contribution. Nathan Gerald, give those kids the Susan Smith treatment. He's talking about those kids on the bus. I mean, it's all kids. It's not just those kids. My homie, Ellie Munoz, who I think changed his username just so I would call him my homie. Where is hot dog? Okay, this is great. This is the one I saw that made me laugh. Where is hot dog? Did you have Club Soda Kenny toss him out of your basement studio? I'll tell you right now, if I hired Club Soda Kenny, I know for a fact that if I said, Club Soda, I need this guy out of here, hot dog would be out of here. Because Club Soda Kenny is a pro. Edna Krabopoli. Sam, have you watched the movie The Rental with Jeremy Allen White? I don't think that I've seen The Rental with Jeremy Allen White, but I will check it out. If you think I should. I love a reco. Poodlerific. Sam has a daughter and action figures. You got to embrace Barbie. Yeah, I mean, look, that's all true. I can't say that people in my household won't be excited about that Barbie movie, so what am I going to do? Disrespect it? It can never happen. PHWOFL. Hey, not Sam, since the 80s. And without getting into smaller promotions, which wrestler had the worst gimmick? I say it's the Genius. Well, look, there have been... The Genius was actually not such a bad gimmick because the whole thing was he's a heel who thinks he's smarter than everybody. And that's a good... that's a natural heel. I think a bad gimmick is really like, where are we going with this type of thing? I think... Dean Douglas was not a great gimmick, but technically it is the same as the Genius, right? It's this teacher who thinks he's smarter than everybody. So Max Moon is a pretty bad gimmick, right? He's a man from space. Max Moon. That's a pretty bad gimmick. And then probably the Gobbledygooker, who I never actually wrestled, so I don't know if you'd consider it a gimmick. But the Gobbledygooker was pretty bad. He got hatched out of an egg. He's getting an action figure from Mattel, though. So, Nathan Gerald says, Mick Foley shirt or beer with Opie. Dude, look at that shirt. I'm not giving the shirt up. I don't care what you dangle in front of me. Honestly, if you said dinner with Mick Foley or Mick Foley's shirt, he's not getting his shirt back. That's mine. I had shirt main evented WrestleMania right there, okay? It's the only main event that Mick Foley wrestled in, and I got his shirt from it. From my cold, dead hands is how you'll get that shirt. Not Sam Miguel says Brooklyn Brawler was the worst. Brooklyn Brawler was not a bad gimmick. He just lost every match. That's not because of his gimmick. It's because he wasn't as good of a wrestler as the people that he was in the ring with. You know, it is what it is sometimes. Guys, I appreciate you. Prayers up for Hot Dog. Let's hope. I don't know where his plane landed. He's been calling me. I haven't been picking up. I've been too busy. I got other things to do. I can't worry about everything. I can't be my brother's keeper. Hashtag pray for hot dog. And we'll see you next time. Hey, subscribe to the channel. Hit like on the video. You got 5 styluses. You might as well use them. I'm going to cheers with you later.